So people always ask me, Karen, do chain stores or the big box stores or larger retailers or whatever, do they work on a consignment basis, or, I mean, are they paying me for my product? How does it sort of work, right? And so when I say consignment, it means that essentially that you are putting up the money for the product and putting it in the stores. How does it work, essentially? That's the question that people ask me. So the short answer is that most retailers will pay you for your product and deliver it, for you to put it in their stores. But there are some retailers that essentially work on a consignment basis. And they will tell you in advance if they're going to do that and so forth. And they call it different things. But ultimately what it means is that you put up the money for the product, you create it yourself, and then ultimately all the risk is on you. And then if the product sells, then they'll pay you after. And so, but the majority of the retailers will actually pay you for your product. However, there are some that will work on that basis. And so, for instance, Spencer Gifts is a company that they have a ton of stores, gift items and stuff. And so essentially, one of the things that they do essentially is when they work with a new vendor, they'll let you know, hey, look, we will buy your product, but if it doesn't sell, essentially you are going to have to send the products back. You are responsible for taking the products back, and we'll only pay you for what's being sold. Does that make sense? So some retailers have their own rules ultimately in terms of product, and so it's something that you have to think about ultimately when you're dealing with these retailers and whether or not you want to deal with them. But they will tell you up front if they're doing anything other than paying you for your products, and so you just have to determine accordingly. Now, sometimes people are really desperate to get products into stores, and the buyers aren't willing to take the risk. And so at that point, sometimes it's actually kind of interesting for a buyer if you say, hey, look, I'll take all the risk here. I'll give you my product, we'll put it in the stores, only pay for the products that sell. Now, that's kind of music to a buyer's ears, right? Because they don't have any risk at all. And some of them might actually bite on that, right? Because if you really believe in your product, then that could be an interesting option. So that's something that you can say to a buyer to ultimately maybe tip them, to work with you. But ultimately, most of the time, they'll pay you for your product. Yes, there are some retailers that will ultimately ask for more of a consignment basis. And then, companies like Spencer Gifts are kind of somewhere in the middle. So I kind of hope that helps.